it's time for us to delve into the papers, and we want to see what it is that the Monday press release has for us. Now, joining me on the set this morning, looking ever spiffy, Nana Tufo Boateng. Join me.
Don't you get tired of this?
No. No.
Let it go.
No. Today is the brown. Yeah.
It's brown because, I'm in different kinds of feelings this morning.
Really? How come? What's up?
Coming from a weekend of not so good news, it's I don't know, it's a mixed feeling.
Yeah.
It's a cocktail of emotions right now because, it started on Friday, I think, the accidents, too many of them.
Yeah, we've had
to have
horrendous accidents
exactly,
this weekend. Yeah.
I think 8 or so people lose their lives through accidents. It's just bad. It's just bad.
And what was that was going on in Mamobi as well?
The clash between the NDC and the NPP. We don't need that.
No, we don't.
I've been saying this over and over. Tensions are quite high already. We don't need to escalate them with some of these things.
Yeah.
I know people read meanings beyond the physical into some of these things.
Oh, yes.
We don't need these things happening now, especially considering.
And for us being the superstitious people the way we are,
exactly.
People will just read meanings into all kinds of things.
So.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but life goes on, right? We are here, we're alive, we're grateful to God Almighty for the gift of life, and we're here to do what feeds us and our families.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it then, shall we? We'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page has a big story. Started off somewhere, I think last week. So it says, Kwahuhene resigns as ADB board chair over bribery and ethical conduct allegations. Kwahuhene resigns as ADB board chair. STEM Novation 2024 begins today. Government initiates forest mining law revocation. Comes with a picture of the Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah Dame. Shun sensationalism in reportage. Former President Kufuor urges media. Shun sensationalism in reportage. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's it for the front page of the Daily Graphic.
Okay, I have the Ghanaian Times here, and it says 8 killed, others injured in 2 separate gruesome road accidents. Moody's upgrades Ghana's credit rating, says country's outlook positive. We have President praises Kwahuhene for championing environmental conservation, and he was celebrating, I think it was his 25th?
Yeah.
25 years on the stool. Yeah. It's a beautiful ceremony. I saw some of the pictures and all that. Parliament reconvenes tomorrow as government seeks to revoke Environmental Protection Regulation 2023, and that, of course, is the LI 2462.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we have for the front page of the Ghanaian Times. On the back page, a quick story here says the Black Stars off to Libya for a dicey second leg tie with Sudan. Okay, interesting.
Are we hopeful?
Hopeful? Listen, if you can't win a game with your 11 plus your bench, plus the crowd in your stadium on home turf. When you ask me this question, am I hopeful? I can't honestly say I am.
But although it will be Sudan's home, but not necessarily in Sudan.
No.
You know, the political turmoil in Sudan.
Yeah.
So
they don't have the advantage of being at home proper with a home crowd.
So it creates some level of neutrality with regards to the grounds. However, it is the technical ability and, of course, the dedication and commitment of the boys.
Yeah.
That's what matters at this point.
I still don't get how we had literal sitters in front of goal a couple of times.
Yeah. We were blunt. That's what it was. We were totally blunt in front of goal. And that's where my fear is, going to Libya to play against Sudan, against a former gaffer.
Will we suddenly become sharp?
Well, you know, Kwesi too is there to work his magic.
Yeah. No, and I think he did. In Accra, he did.
I'm tempted to agree with Otoado when he says Libya was just lucky in that first leg.
You mean Sudan?
I mean Sudan, yes. I'm tempted to believe him because we created the chances. It was a much better performance from the Angola and the Niger one.
Let's be fair, and in all fairness, we haven't seen Black Stars play this well in a while.
Exactly.
So that one, let's be fair, right? So maybe something is happening, but we need to be able to put those balls away.
Hopefully they've worked on the scoring.
Okay.
Because now we are sitting third in the group with 2 points.
And
that's seven
the third
adrift.
Is far down, no?
7 adrift, Angola at the top.
You.
2 behind Sudan.
Yeah.
So
if we beat Sudan, that takes us ahead of them. So we'll see.
Anyways, let's look at the Chronicle newspaper. Chronicle says Ghana's economy looks positive. This is attributed to Moody's. It has to do with the upgrade of Ghana's economy in their ratings. A vote for Alan is a victory vote. This is Boniface speaking. Okay, that's Alhaji Boniface Sadiq speaking there. Kwahuhene celebrates 25 years of Destoolment in grand style. Comes with a picture of Kwahuhene welcoming President Akufo-Addo to the Durban grounds.
Okay.
STEM Novation 2024 begins today. That's for the front page of the Chronicle. A number of sports stories on the back page as well.
Well, we have the news center here, and on the front page of the news center, a few headlines. It says, we paid Oliver Kavoma's hospital bill. This is coming from the police. We also have road crashes kill 1,817 people in 9 months, an increase of 8.35%. You know, regarding this thing, do you realize, I mean, I went to KNUST. So I remember back in 2001, when the road construction, we were in it, building the road from Accra to Kumasi, right? 20-something odd years later, we still haven't been able to separate the entire stretch where there are portions where cars are facing each other oncoming. You know, I wonder when we'll
it's problematic.
It's a serious thing.
If you want people to really understand the gravity of the issue regarding these road crashes, turn this headline around and see road crashes kill 1,817 human beings. Then you get the gravity of it. It's more relatable. Then people begin to understand that, okay, this is 1,817 human lives lost to road crashes in a space of what? 9 months. 9 months. I thought the NRSA said we were doing good. There had been improvements.
Well, it's an increase of, numbers don't lie, 8.35%. So I don't know how good we are doing. And so, what's the basis, what's the metrics they are using to say we are doing better?
I don't know what we are waiting for to be able to put measures in place to forestall some of these things. Like you were saying about the Accra-Kumasi highway. We shouldn't be recording the number of accidents we record on these highways on a daily if we're supposed to put in the right road infrastructure. You get it.
You know how the Suhum to Accra stretch, the roads, the oncoming vehicle is completely separated. This is how it should be the entire journey.
I mean, we know that there's the human aspect of it. Then we know there's the mechanical, because vehicles can develop faults at any point, right? But if the infrastructure, which is man-made, is done to standard,
absolutely,
all materials needed are in place. There are the warning signs, there are the road markings, there are the street lights. It will go a long way to reduce
the numbers
of
will
these
drop
things.
massively.
Drastically, they will drop. It's sad when we have to sit here and review some of these things. This could have been my father, my uncle, my mom. These are breadwinners.
No, these are people that people know.
These are prides of people's families.
These are people that people care about.
It's sad.
You know,
it's really sad.
It's
really sad. And you can rope in the one that happened at East Legon over the weekend. That you have humans being burnt beyond recognition. Just here in East Legon. Are there no speed limits on the road?
So there's a lot of issues in this conversation here. Of course, the fire that started, it was inevitable, right?
Yeah.
But then, if, for example, and one of the things that ADO Alex Kenati has been saying is that we need fire tenders, more fire stations in more neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know, we need more fire stations in more neighborhoods, because it would have been the difference between a 5 minute showing up and a 1.5 hour showing up.
Yeah.
You see, because they have to come from Medina. So you get the call, make sure the truck is prepped and everything else, and then you head out.
Yeah.
There's traffic, there's different things, you're dealing with all of that, you know. Yeah, anyway.
It's quite sad.
So those are some of the headlines on the front page of the news center.
The Herald newspaper this morning talks about UNESCO video reveals Napo as promoting homosexuality in Ghanaian schools. Okay, I'd like to see that video.
Yeah, we have to see the video.
Perhaps from his tenure as education minister. I'm not too sure, but we would have to see that video. National Security orders immediate removal of Boko police boss. Baumia promises district agric mechanization hubs. John Mahama pledges economic revival at WA. And then when you go to page 10 of the Herald newspaper, you get highlights of NDC and NPP manifestos on energy. I think the Herald is doing a good job chronicling the various manifesto promises by the two leading parties, the NPP and the NDC. So I think with every issue of the paper, there's a particular theme or topic. They highlight the promises made by the two parties. So yeah, you can always catch that on page 10 of the Herald newspaper.
All right. We have the daily guide here. It says, government moves to secure forest reserves. 2 dead in East Legon car crash. Unfortunate one there. Moody's upgrades Ghana's rating to positive. We have Lotto operators parry allegations against Samuel Uku, and German Business Association honors Nana. And so that's what we have for the daily guide.
The Ghanaian publisher says group defends Kwahuhene rubbishes extortion claim against him. Okay. Moody's rates Ghana's economy high. Akufo-Addo hails Ochihene's reign. Samira pushes hard for Baumia in Ashanti. And when you go to the top right-hand corner, it says Asiedun Ketia to Muslims, vote for NDC for your protection. Okay. That's the Ghanaian publisher this morning.
Well, calling on religious groups to vote, the news center, there was one here. Coca urges SDA church members to vote on December 7th. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
The new publisher says here, court stops Agona West MP. Don't hold yourself as independent candidate. Okay. Ghana police must insist Ghana police insists.
It's a Cynthia Morrison story.
Yes.
It's quite... Because, you know, she contested and won on the ticket of the NPP.
Yes.
So she's a sitting MP.
Yes, she is.
For Agona West.
Yes.
NPP MP. But then she lost the primaries and has made a couple of allegations regarding the NPP's selection process.
Yeah.
And displeased with same, she's decided to go as an independent candidate.
Yes.
However, 3 private citizens went to court seeking an injunction to stop her from
standing
even contesting or campaigning. And the court has upheld the injunction. And so, I mean, as it stands now, she's been injuncted. She cannot even campaign.
That's a little bizarre, though.
Exactly. And, well, she says she has a court date on Tuesday. She's looking to fight that injunction.
Yeah.
And according to her, nothing will stop her from campaigning. So we'll see how it goes. It's a political season, and some of these issues will definitely come up. But I'm wondering the rationale behind the suit against her.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think generally she lost, leave it be. Let her contest as an independent candidate. And whatever the outcome of the election
But for the court to also restrain her and injunct her from holding herself as an independent candidate, that's a little interesting.
Well, if the applicants or the plaintiff had a good lawyer who was able to argue out the case in courts properly, and if it sounded legally sound in the ears of the judge, why not?
Yeah.
You get it. So we'll see what happens and how it plays out on Tuesday after she goes to court to fight this. But as it stands now, she's been injuncted from holding herself as a PC and from campaigning
I mean, the story here says it is further ordered that defendants should refrain from any actions regarding the nomination process for the position of Member of Parliament for Agona West constituency with regards to Cynthia Morrison, Cynthia Mamble Morrison, pending the resolution of the case.
Yes. And you know, so the second defendant here is the Electoral Commission.
Yes.
So the Electoral Commission cannot go ahead to with the nomination.
Yeah.
And you see, the danger here is that if indeed the EC should go ahead with the printing of ballots, with this injunction as it stands now, then she does not appear on the ballot.
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly.
Yes, and so therefore she's unable to contest. And that's why she's unhappy and says she wants to fight the issue in court.
Well, we hope, we wish her all the best.
Yeah.
Yes, all right, so that's what we have.
All right, I have the informer that says elections 2024, Pastor Hales Baumia's policy says his leader Ghana needs. Moody's rates Ghana positive. Place premium on girl child education, Napo urges. This is, okay, back at Vomawa, not rushed to hospital. Police refute media claims. And in this issue on page 5, it says, waste, now valuable resource. This is attributed to a Jospon boss.
Okay.
That's the Informer newspaper.
All right, the Inquisitor. Big trouble. Kwahuhene faces Destoolment over ADB loan scandal. Oh.
I think we should look at that story.
Yeah.
You know, the Kwahuhene sits as a board chair
of ADB, but he's also resigned.
He had to, because then the BOG issued a directive due to a petition that was, so an individual petitioned the office of the president regarding a matter of, I think, over 2 million Ghana cedis, a loan that the Kwahuhene had secured from this individual. But apparently, the Kwahuhene used this position allegedly as board chair to facilitate a 12 million cedis loan for the company of this individual. And, you know, the alleged shenanigans that go around some of these issues. So the Kwahuhene contracted a 2 million CD loan from that same loan that he helped the gentleman secure from ADB. So that's really the basis of the allegation. The president received the petition. Of course, he will have to forward same to the Bank of Ghana. And the Bank of Ghana, according to, is it the Special Deposits Taking Act? Yes, I think.
Okay.
Has to direct you to resign because clearly the tag brings the name of the bank to disrepute. And so, basically, that's what it is. It has to do with a director and a shareholder of a company known as Prabat Trading Limited, Mr. Collins Dakwa Abuaji, who petitioned the office of the president. Here he says pleading for presidential intervention to help retrieve 2.406 million Ghana cedis owed him by the ADB board chairman, then ADB board chairman, since he has resigned. So that's the underlying story there. So it has to do with a loan that he has not yet paid. If you go into it, it tells you that after contracting the loan, after 3 months, there was no payment. But this gentleman will have to pay the original loan and interest on same.
Okay. Wow.
Allegations of the Kwahuhene not answering calls, at the point sending his driver to give the gentleman some $20,000 in cash. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. So we'll see how it plays out. If there need to be some proper investigations into this matter, I think it should happen as soon as possible, so that whoever's name needs to be cleared or whoever needs to be punished. But then at the end of the day, there is a loan or a debt to be paid. And so it's important that the investigations are expedited so that we
get to the bottom of it.
We get to the bottom of it. Yeah. Republic Press has economy back on track. It has to do with the Moody's. 4 killed in car crash. Cynthia Morrison knocked out. Ghana risks becoming a failed state. This is Cardinal Texan speaking. And it has to do with the Galamsey menace. PNC alleges bribery at IPAC. Petitions special prosecutor. And this is interesting. Juventus Dorina becomes Ghana's first deaf lawyer.
Wow.
Juventus.
That's
Florida.
really good news that came over
Exactly.
the weekend. Eh? Yeah. Really,
There were
really
how many
good
of them? 700 plus.
Yes.
Almost 800
About
lawyers.
777, I think, a lot of people became lawyers. Yeah.
Wow.
777 new lawyers called to the bar. Yeah.
Wow.
That was in the front page of the news center.
Wow. So we had lawyers being called to the bar and, of course, accountants being chartered.
Yeah.
And there was a co-beneficiary in there.
Our
That's
very
good
own,
news. Good news for us. Yeah. Yeah. It sits well. Congratulations to all of them, and we wish them well.
All right.
Please come and contribute your own quota to building the nation. You take us online?
Yes, let's do some online stories. Media, okay, so it says here on ChannelOneNews.com, media complicit in MPP NDC stranglehold on Ghana's politics. So Kwame Osudanso speaking there. Of course, he also being a media person. Borrowing not sustainable way of development, Deputy BOG Governor speaking. Galam say government to lay legislative instrument to revoke mining in forest reserves regulation. And we have election 2024. MPP has a terrible record managing Ghana's economy. This is Mahama speaking. And there's a story here. This headline says, prosecute perpetrators of 2020 general election. This is coming from Justice Emil Short.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
I actually want to read into that story a little bit. Justice Francis Emil Short, former commissioner, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, has called for the prosecution of the perpetrators of the killings during the 2020 general elections to ensure peace in the 2024 general election. Now, he said the prosecution of the perpetrators was non-negotiable to serve as an assurance to the electorate to prevent them from resorting to violence when confronted by opponents. According to him, for instance, recommendations from investigations of violence during the elections such as Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election should be fully implemented. The former SHRAJ commissioner was speaking at this year's West Africa Policy Dialogue series on the theme towards democracy consolidation, strengthening inclusion, transparency, and credibility in the 2024 Ghanaian election. Now, interestingly, and this is what these are the two things he's picking on. He says, he said that the prosecution of the perpetrators was not negotiable. It will serve as an assurance to the electorate to prevent them from resorting to violence because they know that whoever initiates it will be dealt with properly, by the law. But if it's not done, then you send a message that, listen, take it into your own hands because nothing's going to happen about it. Then he's also saying that the recommendations from the Ayawaso West Wuogon need to be implemented fully. So this is what we have here from ChannelOneNews.com.
All right, and for Justice Emil Short to pass such comments, I mean, he will not just speak in a vacuum.
No.
He knows what he's saying. And you would want to agree that some crimes or some tendencies tend to fester because there is no proper punishment to deter people from engaging in same. I mean, a whole Ayawaso West Wuogon has happened. A commission set up, findings made, recommendations made, and we sit here till date. What has happened? We keep doing this thing to ourselves. We put a white paper on it, and that's it. So the next time, I may not necessarily want to engage in violence, but I will be prepared for the occasion of
defend myself or to protect myself, all this.
You get it?
Encourage people to weaponize.
Is it the least thing, if you tend to be defensive in the least thing, anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get it? So we need to grab the bull by the horns and take decisive action regarding some of these things. I mean, the courts are there. The prosecutors are there. The Ghana Police Service is there. You see, in this country, when the police wants to act, it acts.
Oh, yes. And we've seen it.
We've seen it.
And we've seen
clear-cut examples.
This year we've seen it quite a few times.
So please,
they act and act swiftly.
These are some of the matters they should be acting upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the scripture says, right? Ecclesiastes 8:11 says that when punishment for crime delays, the wicked are emboldened.
Preach.
That's a paraphrase. Anyway, thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, Nana. All right, so sports is next. Don't go anywhere.